Oh, you thought I was just going to do one video in this makeup? No, we're getting some bang for my buck. Literally a buck. I got all this stuff in the pound shop. Hello, welcome back to my channel. My name is Sam Scott-Thorne and I am a vocal coach based in Glasgow. Now if you'd like to meet and explore your voice a little more, you can find me on sstvocals.com. You can also find me on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook and Patreon, and I'll put the handles down below and over there. Over there. That was a wee clue of what's to come. I mean, you know what's coming because there's an actual title. I think that was my child shouting there. So if you'd like to consider becoming a patron, you have access to things like early release of reactions. You can become a reaction, you can fast track them. There's going to be educational Patreon exclusive videos and all sorts of other stuff. So consider becoming a patron and help shape my channel. Okay, so we are going to go back to The Nightmare Before Christmas. Now, this is one of my favourite films of all time, let alone my favourite Halloween film. And it's the amazing Danny Elfman that wrote and composed all the songs for this film. I mean, to me, Danny Elfman is Tim Burton and Tim Burton is Danny Elfman. They are two sides of the same coin. I just think of them as like a pair. And Danny Elfman has made some amazing stuff. Like think the music for Edward Scissorhands, the theme tune for The Simpsons. Like he is a heavy hitter in the world of composing. Now, Danny Elfman, as well as being an amazing composer, is also a fantastic singer. He is the role of Jack in this film, and his voice is fantastic in the movie. So I found a live version. He's singing at the Nokia Theatre in 2013. So we're going to go and have a wee listen to that. I am so excited. So let's just go. I cannot wait for this.
There are few who denied what I do. I am the best. All my talents are renowned far and wide. When it comes to surprises in the moonlit night, I excel without ever even trying.
Listen to the amount of stuff he's managing to put into just such a short phrase. So he's going from having quite a smooth, kind of well-connected sound, but then he's slackening into like a fry, and he's mixing that. So mostly people will start with a fry and they'll go into their singing voice. He's scooping in and out to make this kind of ghostly kind of sound. There are few who deny it. What I do, I am the best. It just goes in and out of that place. But he's also got this lovely like higher place sound as well. With this high larynx, it makes the sound really carry. It's very pointed. This guy is amazing.
With the slightest element of my ghost-like charms, I have seen grown men give out a shriek. With a wave of my hand and a well-placed move, I sway the very bravest off their feet.
Listen to that range. So he's mixing up some low larynx stuff and some high larynx stuff. It gives that real change of direction. So if you've got a low larynx down here, but a high one up here, you get two completely different sounds. And he's melding this into one performance. And he's jumping really quickly between the two, which isn't the easiest thing in the world. You know, to get take after take in a recording is one thing, but to sit and do it live is quite the other.
Year after year, it's the same routine, and I grow so weary of the sound of screams. And I, Jack, the pumpkin king, have grown so tired of the same old thing.
Amazing. So you'll see here that he's starting to sweeten up the sound at certain points. Now this is due largely to his thyroid cartilage. It's the shield-shaped part of your larynx that sits in the middle. And when that tilts forward and it makes the cricothyroid space smaller, you get this real sweetness of sound. Ooh. It can sound a bit sad, a bit emotional, and it also encourages vibrato. So if you hear somebody really vibbing quite hard, it's probably coming from there. So if you think vertical is just him normal, And I, Jack the Pumpkin King, have grown so weary of the same old thing. That's him starting to tilt in. When he did that, I, Jack the Pumpkin King, he really used his false vocal folds to come in there and squeeze that sound out. So basically they sit over your true vocal folds and it makes that kind of really textured kind of pain sound. I could listen to him singing all day long. Love it.
Began to grow. There's something out there far from my home, along that I've never known.
Now, interestingly enough, when you get the camera right close to his face, you can see when he tilts, his whole head will shake. I've never known. He's really vibbing so hard that his whole head is actually shaking with it. That's quite something. You don't see that a lot. You can get vibrato without having to move your head with it, but I think he's actually tilting so hard that it's influencing that movement. Oh, Otis is going on behind me. There he is.
I'm a master of right and a demon of light, and I'll scare you right out of your pants. To a guy in Kentucky, I'm Mr. Unlucky, and I'm known throughout England and France. And since I am dead, I can take off my head to recite Shakespearean quotations. No
that drop.
animal or man can scream like I can with the fury of my recitations.
That scream almost followed him back into his singing there. Is it sometimes when you hit a certain vocal technique, it can be hard to snap right out of it. You could hear it kind of texturing through, but he managed to like style it out towards the end. When he's hitting these really textured places, it must be a combination of a bit of constriction, but also I think there's something going on with his arytenoids or his arytenoids, which open and close the vocal folds, and you can make them kind of rattle, like that kind of sound. So I think he's mixing a little bit of this and a little bit of that to make that scream like I can sound. But he did it even higher than that. He's just insane. I absolutely love him. Note the difference in power as well. When he starts to go into his low larynx place, he pushes that sound a lot farther than he does in his kind of speechy place and his mid place larynx. Usually you lose a little bit of power by going low larynx, but he's not lost anything. If anything, it's getting stronger.
Would ever understand that the pumpkin king, the skeleton grin, when tired of his crown, if they only understood, they'd give it on if he only could. Oh, there's an empty place in my bones that calls out something unknown.
Did you notice there he was like ushering towards the probably the guy that's running the orchestra? I can't see who he's looking off to, but the orchestra was following his voice. Now he came in and he wanted that to move along because he's only got a certain amount of breath to get that whole phrase out. Oh, there's an empty place in my bones. So if they think he's wanting to go even slower, he's going to run out of air. So he was like, no, come on, let's pick this up. Just goes to show that he's always in conductor mode, even when he's the soloist.
The fame and praise come year after year, does nothing for his
Amazing. Absolutely incredible. incredible. That sounds just as good as the studio recording in my eyes. Obviously, it's been recorded off of a phone, so you'll be hearing it like a little bit in a little bit less quality than they'll have been hearing it in person. I imagine in person that would have blown everyone's minds. He has got such a good command of his voice. He can dip in and out of full on like almost like operatic sounding singing to like character voice with texture, high larynx, low larynx, constriction, completely retracted. It just is mind blowing how good he is, as well as being an amazing composer. Life is not fair. He must just be like oozing talent. He also has this amazing way of giving and taking away effort where it's appropriate. So at some points it kind of felt like things were flowing about in the wind almost with his vocal, and then other parts were like rigid down into the ground, and there's no mistakes in what he's doing. None of this is by accident. He's making these conscious choices to kind of push and pull the song in whatever direction it is that he wants. I can't say enough good stuff about Danny Elfman. So hope you liked that reaction. If you did, please give it a like and a thumbs up down below. And if you want to see more from me, hit subscribe, ring the bell, and anytime I have new content, you will be the first to know. You will. So I guess all that's left for me to say is thank you so much for joining me. And how are we going to buy this one? So I guess all that's left for me to say is thank you so much for joining me, and the fame and praise come year after year, but if you don't subscribe, I'll shed a tear. Bye.